Visit myturn.ca.gov today to schedule a vaccination appointment or find a walk-in clinic near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
News without the skew. KFI live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI.
And KOSC HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
No rerouting noisy jets. I'm Phil Hewlett from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The FAA has shut down the complaints of people who live in Studio City and Sherman Oaks, ruling that the flight pattern out of Burbank Airport will not change. Residents have been complaining about the jet noise since the flight pattern changed 4 years ago. There's a coronavirus outbreak at Valencia High School. 33 students have tested positive. Most are cheerleaders.
The entire cheerleading program has been shut down for the time being, so no cheerleaders at this coming football game on Friday night.
Anyone who's come in contact with the cheer squad has been asked to quarantine. The family of a mentally disabled man who was shot and killed by an off-duty LAPD officer after an argument at a Costco has been awarded $17 million in damages. In 2019, Kenneth French was shot by Officer Salvador Sanchez. French's parents were also wounded but survived. An American Airlines flight from New York to John Wayne Airport made an unscheduled stop in Denver after a passenger attacked a flight attendant. That passenger was taken off the plane, gathered up by police. It's unclear what led to the attack, but the passenger is banned from American Airlines. Middle School Fight Club. Parents say fighting at Chase Middle School in Menifee has gotten out of hand. Parents say kids even post fight videos to social media and then bet on the outcome.
Fighters come in and $5 for the winner and $1 for the loser.
A 13-year-old boy was just arrested for fracturing the eye of another teen during a fight. The would-be assassin who shot former President Ronald Reagan is demanding royalty payments from Devo. John Hinckley Jr. claims that he co-wrote the song I Desire. The band put that song on its 1982 album using one of Hinckley's poems. Southland weather from KFI. Today's going to be the hottest day of the week. Then a big cool down begins. You can expect mostly sunny skies. Temperatures hovering on either side of 90, near 80 at the beaches. Right now it's 55 in Huntington Beach, Mission Viejo 66, downtown LA 59, and in Santa Clarita currently 68 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Phil Hewlett.
In Huntington Beach, there is a full freeway closure. This is on the 405 northbound from Beach Boulevard to Bolsa. All lanes are going to be coned off for road work until 5. Your drive is being diverted off onto Beach Boulevard. And in Burbank, there's another full freeway closure. The high southbound from Buena Vista to Olive Avenue. All lanes there are also going to be shut down for road work. West LA, 405 southbound at Olympic. Cleanup crews from an earlier crash on the right shoulder there. KFI and the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Brian Van.
As usual, this year for Halloween, I'm going to dress up as a devil. A handsome devil. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Halloween freebies. Rewards members get a light-up pumpkin necklace on Halloween.
Number 4.
Trick, treat, win. Load up on candy and win up to $300 in free slot play when you earn 100 points on your rewards cards to 31st.
3.
Baseball's biggest games on big screen. The whole world will be watching, and so will you at Morongo.
And the number 2.
Entertainment is back. Gypsy King, November 5th. Robin 6th, November 13th.
And the number 1 reason.
Rob Lowe, Keith Sweat, and Cool Blast all this year. Go to MorongoCasinoResort.com to check out the full lineup.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
You're tired of your car. You want something new, and you want it now. No problem. Roto has your back. That's R-O-D-O. Sell your old car and get into a new one right from the comfort of your couch. Use the Roto app to browse thousands of vehicles from local dealers for the best deal on the wheels you really want. Roto, the fastest, easiest way to buy or sell a car. Download the Roto app now or check out roto.com. That's R-O-T-O.com.
The smell was so repulsive and overpowering. Undaunted, I kept looking for the source of that awful stench. Hello, I'm John McCoyan, owner of Rooter Hero Plumbing. I was 18 and I needed to earn enough money to buy some good, reliable tools. Digging trenches was honest work and it paid $35 a day. So I did it. My client's main line had collapsed and the sewage gas was overwhelming. My eyes watered, but I couldn't leave my client in that condition. I learned my work ethic from my father, who was the hardest working man I'd ever met. When I started Rooter Hero Plumbing, I brought that work ethic to the company. We will never leave you without solving your problem. That's why my cell phone number is on the back of every Rooter Hero business card. Call us at 866-GREEN-77 and we'll cable that line for $77. That's 866-GREEN-77. Thank you.
Everybody needs a hero. RooterHero.com.
CL 102-8886.
Should kids and teens get the COVID-19 vaccine?
Is it safe for my daughter?
Have they been thoroughly tested?
Will my grandson be okay if he gets vaccinated? He's still developing.
The short answer to all these questions? Yes. The COVID-19 vaccine is proven to be safe and effective for ages 12 and up. Feeling good about the facts? Visit myturn.ca.gov today to schedule a vaccination appointment or find a walk-in clinic near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
KFI AM 640. KFI AM 640.
Not even say the word?
I feel like we just got 9 emails.
Show sucks. You guys are so pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, pro-vaccine, anti-vacciners.
Jerry and Ken.
I like this show. I'm having a good time.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk. From the gateway to the west, this is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Quick shout out to one of the world's greatest drummers who's played with some of the greatest groups, Coast guest Kenny Aronoff. Kenny, thank you for listening to the program and keep beating those drums, my friend. In a moment, Carol Oakley back with us on Coast to Coast as we talk about the spirit world on Coast to Coast AM. Let's talk about your car for a moment and the way to keep it repaired and running properly. Dealing with car repairs can kind of feel like a lose-lose situation. You lose your money, you lose your time, and if you don't have the right kind of coverage, just one repair could bleed you dry. I call Car Shield. They've taken care of me in the past, and they're taking care of me in the present. They're helping me save more time and money than ever before. It's a win-win for me. Taking care of a covered repair with Car Shield's administrators is really easy. They handle the paperwork and the expensive payments, so I don't have to worry about it. No hassles, no headaches, and Car Shield could save you thousands. Thanks to a protection plan, I'm not worried about expensive repairs. And to choose the mechanic to do the work, I can do that on my own, and Car Shield's administrators take care of the rest. And it's like they're your own personal team of auto repair problem solvers. This is what you do, because Car Shield has helped more than 1 million drivers, and that's why they're America's #1 auto protection company. Car Shield is a win-win. Gets you back on track when you need it. Go to carshield.com/Norrie, put my name in there, to save 10%. That's carshield.com/Nori, and a deductible may apply.
Sometimes the world can seem a cold place, so we gotta bring the warmth to it. Sometimes the world can seem a broken place, so we gotta strive to fix it. At the end of the day, we are empowered to create the world we want to live in. So we prepare for the worst, but we must always, always expect the best. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, and only the Exogen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Be accurate with Exogen. Learn more at Exogen.com.
And welcome back to Coast. George Dory with you, acclaimed spiritual medium and popular author Carol Oakley with us has been the bridge between heaven and earth for more than 11,000 group and individual readings, names, descriptions of loved ones, personalities, and truly uncanny validating details as well as grief support and teachings about the afterlife are typically delivered in her readings. An advanced intuitive, she also regularly delivers specific practical guidance and readings about many life issues, business, spirituality as well. She is recognized by readers and clients alike for bringing compassion, integrity to mediumship, by her sincere intent to be of service to others through her talents and experience. She's got a number of books out, including Wisdom from the Spirit World, I'm Still With You, Embracing the Ties That Bind, and Soul-to-Soul Connections. Carol, welcome back. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Good evening, George. Thank you so much for having me.
And how are you this late hour?
Well, I'm excited. I'm always excited to talk to the Coast audience and to you.
Well, they love you. And let's go back a little bit, Carol. Tell us how this all started for you.
Well, unlike a lot of, probably a lot of mediums, I wasn't aware of this ability when I was young. It came about as something I wrote about in my books, and that was a fire that took me off of the pathway of what I was doing. I was running a business then, and overnight my life changed. And for about a year, I kind of, was directionless, had no idea what I was going to do with my life. And then, boom, I got a phone call from a friend who wanted me to come to a metaphysical center near a small town here where I live. And I didn't pay attention. So she called me back a couple of months later and invited me again. And at that center is where everything opened up for me. I started taking classes there and workshops, everything that they offered. Read all the books in the metaphysical library. And from there, everything has happened.
Well, that's great. You've done now close to 12,000 readings at least, haven't you?
Yeah, my bio is, I'm always updating on my own website, so I've really lost count, George. It's probably at least 12,000. So, and that includes groups too. I do a lot of gallery style mediumship. Of course, during the pandemic, that kind of got put aside. But now I'm doing it through Zoom, through the internet. So it works because mediumship is really energy.
That's right. That's right. And I was going to say, does it energize you when you give a reading?
Yes. Yes. Because the spirit world is it's nourishing. It's nurturing and nourishing, and really, I'm going to use the word uplifting, because most of the time after I've done groups or, just every day doing readings here, I feel different, and I feel better, and I feel much more like a part of me that's been opened up. That's the best way I know how to describe it.
What would you say, Carol, about the spirit world at this point? Because you've been doing this for 25 plus years. What is the spirit world now to you?
Well, we're coming up on Halloween, and so I think that people are interested in going, where is it? Where is the spirit world? That's one of the questions that I've been asked over the years. And the answer to that is, it's really right here. It's all around us. It's simply a matter of opening your antenna or opening your inner senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, to perceive it. So it's not a place, of course, per se. It's a state of consciousness that is really vibrating at a much higher velocity than the physical world. So it sort of interpenetrates the earth plane. And the word plane is used because that's referring to consciousness.
Now, when you deal with the ghostly world and as a mediumship, have you ever found yourself in a situation that you wanted to get out of but you couldn't?
No, well, let me, my consciousness just corrected me. Yes.
Tell them the truth, Carol. That's what it says.
Yes. And it was actually one of my own experiences. It wasn't dealing with readings or anything like that. It was, George, I've had this very bizarre thing that's happened where I actually have seen ectoplasm. And for people who don't know, ectoplasm is kind of this smoky, filmy substance.
Some think it's like the soul. It's almost, it's perceived as the soul, isn't it?
It really is. What happened was, I think I might have mentioned this on a past show, but it was so incredible. Where I was standing in the bathroom brushing my teeth, of all things, a large cloud of ectoplasm comes out of the wall. It sounds so incredible, but truly, I wasn't under the influence of anything. And there it came, and then it dissipated, went back into the wall. So after that, I really didn't want to be in the haunted house that I was in much longer. So I had a talk with this consciousness, this ghost, and I told him to stop frightening us. And he would even go around my dogs at the time. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of escape from where I was living. When I asked him to do that, he stopped. So I know that there's a communication that goes on between us and the spirit world as far as even, so-called ghosts. And usually when I said that, and I also had a shadow person that showed up too, and I asked her to leave. That was a different house. So it is possible, of course, to communicate with those who are no longer here physically, even if it's not through, doing readings.
Do the spirits use mediums, Carol, like yourself, as a conduit to get their word out to the living?
I am so glad that you asked that, because I actually asked my own spirit guidance, which are souls who help us on our pathway. I actually asked them that, and this was a while ago, and they answered me in the affirmative. And so it works the opposite. And in order for them to reach us, and I actually wrote about this in one of my books, there's sort of a viewing device. And if you think of a telescope, or, you know, those binoculars, you used to be able to put a quarter in them and, you know, look around if you're up in the mountains or whatever. I kind of perceive that of it as that. So, and they can look in here on what we're doing as well. So yes, it does exist.
Edgar Casey, when he was in his trance state, literally got his health beaten down, Carol, because of all the readings that he did. Do you ever worry about that for yourself?
Yes, and I'll tell you, it's really important for one who has dedicated their life to do this. This is definitely a calling. It's not about making a pile of money. I'm extremely real in what how I talk about this. So, absolutely, you've got to stay very balanced. And it actually uses, George, some of the life force energy of the medium when you're doing this. And so, and if there's, it uses some of the sitter as well, or the receiver of the reading. So it is possible to get drained. I will never be an assembly line medium. I would far rather give quality than quantity. And that's just how I approach things. And I know my limits. And after 25 years. So it's really important for a person who's doing this to stay physically balanced, eat properly, stay emotionally balanced, and not become overwhelmed or drained.
What would you say is the difference between a ghost and a demon?
Well, there's a couple of realities about ghosts. A ghost can either be an imprint that's on the etheric field, and that's the energy field that's right next to us, and also the earth. The earth is a living entity that also has an etheric energy field around it. So a ghost can actually be a replay of that imprint that is sort of lodged in the etheric field. Or it can actually be that soul that's coming back. Now, a demon, those are energies or souls that are very, very close to the earth and in the lower realms of the spirit world. Just as there are, different places here on the earth, it's the same way with the spirit world, depending upon the consciousness of the souls who inhabit those particular realms. To the lower or the dimmer, and they actually are dimmer as far as the light intensity. The lower realms are closer to the earth. Is there evil there? If there are souls who were evil when they were here in the earth, that's where they go. The higher realms are the mid-planes, which most people go to. They're called it's called the Summerlands. And in old Theosophist literature and, the old spiritualist literature, they refer to them as the Summerlands because, guess what? It's always summer there. So the demons they can't ascend. They can only stay in the lower realms.
What do they want?
What do they want? You mean from people here?
Yeah, from us.
Well, I always view them as highly manipulative. And so they kind of eat energy like candy. And they thrive on anxiety, fear especially, George. And that's why it's so important to, we've all been through the ringer with fear, I think, in the past almost couple of years. So that's why it's so important to not entertain fear a lot. They want to sometimes gain some sort of power from us. So that's another reason I don't advocate the use of Ouija boards for people. I think that they open portals, and it's very difficult to close them once they're open. And there can be really manipulative, either mischievous or downright evil spirits that can enter through those portals.
I agree with you on the Ouija board. There's some people who don't. They think that it's just a fun thing, but I think Ouija boards could be a problem for a lot of people. And didn't the little boy from Baltimore, who the original Exorcist movie was made about, and the book?
Yes.
Well, wasn't he playing with a Ouija board?
I believe he might have been.
I think he was. I'm pretty sure he was. And something happened. But look what happened to him.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. People open the door, and by their intent. Intent is everything. And that's what brings the relatively good, like our deceased relatives and friends, and our intent will bring them to us. But intent can also be, kind of on the shadow side or on the negative side. So it really depends on why you're doing something. But, even in my books, I tell people, you shouldn't fool around with things like that, because I wouldn't even do that. You have to have discernment. And discernment is important so that you know, who's connecting with me. And I think sometimes people who are inexperienced, they don't have that yet. So that's why it's not a wise idea to fool around with something like a Ouija board.
Carol, what is what you call traveling clairvoyance?
Well, traveling clairvoyance is being able to see at a distance.
Is it remote viewing?
It is similar, but not the same. In my training, and I've taken a lot of years of training to be able to, hone the ability I was born with, I learned about this, and I've used it ever since. It's when a communicating spirit will impress scenes or sights upon my consciousness. For example, a lot of readings, they'll actually take me into their home or the home of their loved one and show me around. And I know it sounds really crazy, but it enables me to give a description of that through their impression to that figure. And so there's more validation or more evidentiary material than presented. The difference between that and remote viewing is, usually with remote viewing, there's a target. You're supposed to have a target of what you're going to, put under the microscope. So this is more random, and it just comes through automatically through readings. I never even asked to start receiving it. It just started spontaneously happening.
And happening in a big way, too.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen in every reading. And, of course, I'm referring to, full-length readings, not mini readings like, we do in the media.
Right.
There isn't even, half the time for that.